So you bought your Sebi droid and you're trying to assemble it. So the last video we went over what you're going to need to clean it up and cleaning it. And so now we're going to go over how to assemble this little guy. All right, so he's going to go over here, and so we've cleaned up our pieces. So we've got the sprue lines off. We cleaned up a lot of the mold seams. Same thing here. Cleaned up the front. This is the front. So if you look, this designates the front. And then in the back, we cleaned off that lip as much as we want. If I really wanted to, I could sand this down more. I could do more fill and stuff like that to make it however I wanted to make it nice and clean. But I'm pretty happy with this. We drilled out the holes for the eyes. A good thing to use to remember is that this will always go into the top left of the droid. So that's how you know where that is. On this plate here, the bottom is designated by that little mark right there, and so that will fit in because these just kind of fit by pressure. If it's a tight fit and you like that and you don't want to glue it in, you don't have to. We suggest it, but if it's loose or anything like that, like this kind of is a much easier in and out, then you can use our friend super glue. And like I said, I prefer super glue gel. Here are the hips, so we cleaned off the top here. This will end up gluing into this space down there. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to note about the hips is that one of these legs is longer than the other. And so when the legs get put on, and they just fit right on top, generally the longer of the stems is going to be on this left leg, so left if you're looking at it. But that's just something to try out beforehand, because the hips themselves, I mean, there's nothing really designated in front or back. So if you put it on and the little hip area is off, well then it's pretty easy. You can just swap them out. I don't glue my legs in if I find them kind of wobbly and not holding up the weight. Then I'll put in like a piece of like painter's tape or something like that to give it a little bit more grip, or a little bit of hot glue to get in there. So then that way I can kind of adjust how it looks. But if you really want to, you figure out just how you want him to look, and you just glue it all together so he's in that right position. So I don't really have to glue these, and I'll glue the hip at the end because I'm going to be manhandling the top a lot. Because what I really want to do is I want to get these electronics that we still have in there. And like I said, we've got this back plate, and this little hash mark shows you the bottom. And so all I really have to do, because I've already drilled these out, is just feed the lights in. Where we get the connectors are a little bit thicker, you can just feed them in one after the other. And I'll feed in all three at once. Now, it doesn't really matter how they go in. There's not like a 1 light, a 2 light, a 3 light. All the lights are the same. You'll just want to mark which light goes to which eye. And that even realistically doesn't even matter, because in the end, it's just, there's 1 light on, it's round 1. If there's 2 lights on, it's round 2. 3 lights, round 3. So there we go. Now you'll notice on these little battery packs, they have this little switch, and that is our on-off switch. So we want to make sure that however we set these up, that you want to make sure that those little switches are accessible. Now, these battery packs are a little bit bigger than the back plate, and I like that because then it gives it a seat. But what I'll do is I'll try to kind of line them up like this. There's a little bit of overhang on this side, a little bit of overhang on that side, but like I said, that will sit flush. The switches aren't all lined up. Like There's one switch up here, one switch down there, one switch over there. I'm okay with that too. But if you want to try to line them up, you are more than welcome to. So I've got those guys in place. So I'm going to take my super glue, my super glue gel, and squeeze a bit on the back of each one. Now, if you have super glue accelerant, you can use that. It shouldn't really harm anything. Just don't go crazy with it, because I believe, I don't even think you can melt plastic. So I'll often start with my center. Get that all figured out. See, I'm going to put this right there. Sometimes the wires make it a little bit trickier to do than what we really want. But boom. 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 Now, once again, the nice thing about this super glue gel is that it doesn't run. It's pretty easy, to get them all set in, line up. It sets up pretty quick. And then I'm going to take more super glue, put a little bit on the top there. And while I'm back here, I'm going to attach my numbers. So the one that has 2 pips, that's 1. I line that up so it's side by side, so it kind of looks like a pig nose. 3 pips, that's 2. And so the 2 you want to have going vertically. And the same thing with the 3. It's got 4 pips. And that kind of lines up there. Obviously, you can take more time to make them exact. That's totally up to you. But now it's all kind of set together, and we've got the wires coming through. So then all I have to do is feed it through here, so that we're going from the back to the front. Of course, these guys are acting up a little bit. We want to make sure we get all the wires through. There we go. We got it in place. Just use a little bit of that pressure, get it all locked in. And then if you want, you can go ahead and glue that down right now. I'm going to let that set a little bit, just so that it has a little bit more grip to it. And I might give it a little bit more super glue on this guy. He's getting finicky. So there, you can use it however you need. So let's just let that set up a bit. So now those wires that have fed through here and are poking out the front, and I like to just kind of lay them out. So this one's for this left, middle, right. Now you can just feed them into here, and once again use that super glue. You can use hot glue, however you want. Once again, there's the holes, and so what I'm going to do. Let's see, I'll just do it. This should help me. So it's almost. I'm just trying to make it so that you can see it while I do it. There we go. All right. And once again, this little, fake light part, that's in the upper right. And I'm just going to stick one LED in one hole, next LED in the next hole, next LED in the next hole. Pretty easy. I'll give them all a little bit of gel, a little bit of gel, a little bit of super glue gel. Once again, this is where accelerant helps, or once again, like hot glue, that helps too. So now they're pretty much glued in. They won't really come out. And depending on how you design the fit for this, now's the time to, align your eyes, make sure that it looks all balanced, it's pretty flat. And if you like it, that's when I kind of fill it in with that super glue gel. Oops. the guy who created this thing, and I still have issues. So if you have issues, don't worry about it. Well, if you have issues making this, don't worry about it. We all do. If you have other issues, well, that's totally on you. And who doesn't these days, right? Okay, here we go. Boom. Faceplate. I like it. And I'm going to let that set up a little bit. If I want to now, while that's setting up, I have the antenna. There's a little dot on the back here, and I just glue that antenna right to it. Goes right there. There's also a little air void back here, right at the base of that antenna. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just going to fill that in with a little bit of super glue gel. A little air void over here. Do that. And same thing here. Alright. So while those are setting up, I'm going to check again the alignment of my hips. Like I said, the longer side tends to be on the left leg or the right, depending on, it's this side. So we want it, if we're looking at it, it's going to be on the left. If we're looking from behind it, it's on the right. Make sure that's all aligned, and that's going to be where we want it. And I generally take the legs off to then glue it on, so I don't have to worry about the legs folding. And I give a very liberal amount of super glue on that base. I don't mind if it squirts out a little bit when I attach the two together. And so here I go. Like I said, there's that little space right there. It's already lined up. Boom. I put it in. And then I make sure that's all lined up together. Oops. That's it. It can be tricky. Hot glue would help kind of hold it in place if you needed that, or you can be more patient than I'm being right here for the video. And you can actually let the glue set. Once again, that's where accelerant helps and stuff like that. So there, it's pretty much assembled. You know, I can still slide the legs on when I want. I can still glue those in. I can go in, I can reinforce any of the glue joints that I've already got in. You know, I can use filler. I can do whatever I want. But now I pretty much have the droid assembled. You know, once again, I'm going to let that set. And I'm putting on the legs. Like I said, even these legs can still come off. You know, so I haven't, you know, he's our first one. And it's just a little piece of masking tape in there that holds it together. So now he's going to be all assembled. And then I can paint him however I want. We're not going to really have a video about that, because that's really up to you. I would suggest getting a good plastic primer. Prime it first. And then when you seal it with you know, a matte coat or a gloss coat, semi-gloss, whatever you want, just to give that paint job a little bit of protection. The trick that we do with the eye here is to paint a shiny silver in the back, a light wash of paint, or if you have like a translucent paint, transparent paint, that's great. And then a 5-minute epoxy on that, and that'll give it a nice shine that'll give it kind of like a glassy look. You know, and then, yeah, you will have your own little round counting SBK droid. So remember, you got to bet big to win big. I hope you like Sebi. Send us photos of him at your games, all right? Cool. Sebi says thank you. Boop. Boop. Boop.